I didn't expect to be having a coloured quarter horse with a blue eye. I was looking for a bay warm blood. He's rising. He's 12, I think now. Yeah, he's 12. And I've had him since he was just 3.5. So he's been with me most of the time. My son sent me down this little 3-year-old quarter horse for me to work because he just started him, and he never went home because I liked him so much, and I had been looking for another horse for myself, so he stayed. He's my first quarter horse ever. I've always had like bigger horses, warm bloods, thoroughbreds, and but I thought, what can I do with this horse that we could enjoy, that we could enjoy and do well, fairly well, but and meet other people. And that's when I thought working equitation would be the thing that we would enjoy doing together, because he's good on the cattle and he's good at the obstacles, and his dressage is not too bad. So we just, it's just something all round, the 4 phases. I like doing the 4 phases. For the first few years, I took him to HRCAV dressage, comps, and he did well. We've done a couple of camp drafting clinics to get him used to the cattle. I discovered working equitation on YouTube, and I thought that was something that was really interesting. There was no clubs down this way at all, or anyone that did working equitation, so I started a club down at Port Fairy 4 years ago, nearly 5 years ago, and just got a group of friends together when we thought, well, we'll start a club and see how it goes. And then luckily I had a clinic with Pedro Neve when he was out some years ago. It was really the first time I was introduced to working equitation properly, with the different obstacles and what was involved. So that was really interesting. I was 70 this January, so into my 70s now, which is a bit scary. But you can still ride. I mean, I can't jump big heights anymore. I had a back operation some years ago, so I'm not allowed to do big jumping anymore, but we only have to jump quite low in working X, so that's all right. I still do grid work and things like that, to keep myself fit enough. But really, I think once you've ridden all your life, it's just like a bicycle. You just always do it, don't you? It's just like walking, I suppose. Get out and ride your horse. I do have to have a higher mounting block now. I just take things a wee bit slower. I train légèreté for my dressage. I've been following that for several years now, and I love that way of training a horse. Plus we do liberty, and I do a bit of lunging and cavalettes as well, grid work, all within that, plus riding out. So I think it's just all round training that helps. Yeah. And I'm working now towards the flying changes. So that's my big thing this year. We're nearly there, but I just have to get them a little bit more balanced before I try them, and me as well. And so this year coming up, that's what I'd like to be able to do. I'd love to be able to do the flying changes through the slalom and the barrels and just do it nice and, nicely. So that's the big program this year. I think you have a horse when it's trained for working equitation that's fully available to you. It knows not only how to just go forward and side, turn right and left with the reins, but have to know rein back. You have to know side pass. The horse is really, it's quite high training, I think, for working equitation. A lot of people just think, we'll plonk around the obstacles, but you really don't plonk around the obstacles. There's a lot of training goes into each obstacle, and I think if you're training for working equitation, then you have to have a horse that's trained, quite highly trained, and for that you could use for anything, really.